Go ahead, go ahead.
Hi everybody, how are you? This is Tatiana Jimenez from Williams Island Spa and Wellness Center, and it's a pleasure to be here with you today. And today we have a very important topic to talk about, and it's interesting. It's a very interesting topic, and it's all about inflammation. What is inflammation? Why is it important to talk about inflammation? And I'm gonna end up with like one of the best things that you can eat to help with inflammation. So let's start by talking about inflammation. And there's a lot of people walking around with inflammation today, okay? Inflammation is really, it's a serious issue in the body. And it's like when your body is inflamed, just for you to understand what inflammation is that the body has like little fires inside of you, saying that there's a problem. Okay, the inflammation of the body is that the body's telling you there's a problem, and then the body goes and fixes the problem. What's been happening is that we're always inflamed, so there's always a problem, and the body's always in high alert, and that discombobulates the body. It's not good for the body to be in high inflammation all the time. It's actually even dangerous. It affects insulin, and there's some anti-inflammatory drugs out there that are given to people to bring down the inflammation. But it's very interesting because inflammation is telling you that there's a problem. If you get a drug that brings inflammation down, we're not dealing with a problem. Okay, so one great example of this is like a fever, for example, right? And we know that when you get a fever or your kid get a fever, sometimes you have to let that fever work to a certain point before giving them the medication to bring the fever down. Because what is the fever doing? Is the high heat inside the body is killing the bacteria that's inside of you. So our bodies are amazing. They actually know what they're doing. They actually, some of the things that happen to the body is for the body to react and work with something. The problem with inflammation is that we are always inflamed. Always inflamed. So the body's always trying to put down the fire, and we're doing this for too long of a time, and again, that discombobulates the body. Okay, so why is that happening? And we come back to food, guys. We come back to food. There's the old saying, food can heal you, or food can give you disease and give you problems. Okay, I don't want to go more in depth into that, but it's so important to be serious and be conscious about what we're eating. And I'm going to talk to you about, some food that causes inflammation, because sometimes we don't think about these things, and we think that, we just got inflammation because maybe you ate one thing. But if you start seeing all the things that give inflammation, hopefully it's going to help you to cut down on certain things. And I'm not saying to never eat this or never eat that, because we live in a society, there's some things we like to eat, but some things we really have to be careful, and we have to eat in moderation. So let's start one of the biggest detriments for inflammation. And if you are live, you can actually say something if you think. Can they do a chat? Can they write on the chat thing on live? No? Okay, but it's sugar. It's sugar, okay? It's one of the most inflammatory agents in the body. It's sugar. It does a lot of havoc. And unfortunately, there is sugar everywhere. And I'm not talking only about white sugar. Brown sugar, high fructose corn sugar, turbinado sugar, lactose, that it's in the milk. It's a kind of sugar from the milk. Even honey. Honey, though, has a lot of very good properties, so like propolis and other things. That's one of the best sugars out there if you have to have sugar. Of course, if you have diabetes, you have to be careful with too much sugar, even with the honey. But saying that, there's sugar everywhere. And of course, there's more sugar in the cookie and the cake. And, whenever you read a label, and we've done things with labels, guys, remember the first three ingredients. The first three ingredients are what they have most of. So if you get something and the first ingredient is sugar, put it down. It's okay to have something sweet and delicious, but if the first ingredient is sugar, you're like pouring fire into your body. So we really have to be careful. And actually, that happened to me the other day. I wanted something sweet. I went to the supermarket and there were some crackers that I wanted. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to have something a little bit sweet. And you start reading all of them, first ingredient. If it's not sugar, it's even worse. It's high fructose corn syrup. That's like 10,000 times worse than sugar. So finally I found one that was a little bit healthier. That sugar was the fourth ingredient. That was good. You know, it was first, I think it was a whole wheat. The second one, they had some chia. Yeah, the more natural ones, the healthiest ones, they're gonna have less sugar. Another thing that people do not think about and that inflames your body is processed meats. It's unbelievable, okay? Ham, bacon, smoked meats, deli meats, sausages, everything with nitrates. Those are very inflammable to the body. So yes, once in a while we like to do that. We like to have a hamburger or a hot dog here and there. We just had 4th of July. Maybe some of you had that, but sparingly. It's not, you don't have to give it up, but sparingly, because you know that also inflames the body, guys. So just be very conscious of what you're putting in your body so that you can have a healthier life. Another thing, well, this is part of the sugar, but prepackaged foods. Prepackaged foods, when you start reading the ingredients, because they're prepackaged, they have certain things inside the packaging and the ingredients too, for that the product stays in the shelf longer. And those things also inflames the body. So things that I'm talking about is things that are not even like, you know, healthy for you. So we know that. And we're going to realize that everything that we talk about, every single symptom, like inflammation or high blood pressure or diabetes or, you know, cholesterol, most of the time, the foods are more or less the same that you have to be careful with. And it's foods with too much salt, too much sugar, prepackaged, things that are in the supermarket, pastries and cakes and cookies and things like that. Okay, so prepackaged foods, of course, things with too much trans fats, like French fries. I know some of you are gonna like be saying right now, oh my God, what am I gonna eat? I cannot have a hamburger, I cannot have a hot dog, I can't eat French fries, a little cookie here and there. Quantity and quality of food. And I always talk about quality and quantity, extremely important, guys. So just be very careful. Things that have partially hydrogenated oils, okay? Those are very inflammable to the body. Potato chips, we said cookies and sodas and refined carbs, and all this stuff has very, very high glycemic index. And another thing that actually, I did not know this because I was studying about inflammation, and you can Google inflammation, you can stay on the internet for hours because it's crazy what's out there. But Chinese food, especially MSG in Chinese food, that inflames the body. And even some people are very allergic to that. They cannot have that. So again, be careful. We know the foods that are good for us. We know the foods that are not good for us. So just be smart about what you're eating. And yes, have that cookie once in a while. But know that if you're having a day of just too much sugar, too much carbs, too much, you know, sometimes people tell me, oh my God, this morning I was in a rush. I had a cookie and a coffee. And then lunchtime, oh my God, I was in a rush. I had a little pasta with a little tomato sauce. Okay, and at night, I didn't have time really to do anything, so I just had maybe a little sandwich with cheese inside. You're having carbs, sugar, sugar, all day long, and a glass of wine to relax. More carbs and sugar. So yes, I love my glass of wine. I'm half Italian, but if you're doing all day with that, with no fruits, with no vegetables, with no grains, with no, you know, healthy food, of course, your body is going to be inflamed and it's going to be all these fires going on and you have to battle it and you won't even be able to sleep well that day. So just be careful, you know, what you're having, when you're having. So now we're going to go to the last part of this and talk about things, food actually, that are good for you, that can help you to bring the inflammation down. And one of the top ones that I love and everybody should have in their house all the time are berries. Any kind of berries. Blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries, organic. Just because berries, think about a berry, they're very soft and mushy. Anything you spray on them, what's going to happen? They absorb. So all the pesticides that they put on food, on fruits and vegetables, if they have a thick skin, I wouldn't even worry about it. Don't worry about organic bananas, organic melons or watermelons. Nothing is going to go through that. Or coconut, okay? But pineapple, no need to be organic. But it's a sales thing to say it's organic. But berries, yes. Does it cost more? Yes. Is it worth it? 100%. Or else don't even buy it. That's with me with berries, and my kids love berries. But a little thing of berries, like $7. Buy that every day. But if you're gonna do berries, organic, healthy, delicious, anti-inflammatory to the max. Very, very good for you, okay? Another thing that is very good for your body, good for inflammation, and a phenomenal thing for the body is dark green leafy vegetables, okay? They are king. I mean, vegetables is one of the best things you can have. It should be in every meal that you have. They'll alkalinize the body. They'll help with inflammation. They're full of minerals. They're full of vitamins. They're full of antioxidants. They are amazing what they do to the body. So every time you're eating something, even if it's pasta, you throw something inside. Rice, put some vegetables with it. A piece of meat or chicken or fish, vegetables with it. That should be one of the biggest part in your plate. Seriously. Okay, spinach, kale, Swiss chard, dandelion greens, those are the very, very high in alkalinizing the body and very good in antioxidants. Another thing that is awesome for inflammation is omega oils. And we know omega oils are great for us, right? And we think we can only get omega oils from fish. And actually, there's red algae, the sea algae. The red algae is amazing. They came up with a lot of new studies about it, but sea algae has omega oils, fish has omega oils, really, really good. Very, very good for inflammation. Amazing, okay? Massive anti-inflammatory effects with omega oils. Couple more things, avocados. They are said to reduce joint inflammation. So it's interesting how you have some foods that will really kill you and give you so much problems. And then you have other things, and you see what I talk about is natural things. Fruits and vegetables, and even fish that will heal you, okay? And cruciferous vegetables, very good antioxidants. Cruciferous means broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, amazing for inflammation, amazing. And that to end, we have the herbs like turmeric. A lot of people know about turmeric. You can even buy turmeric pills at the store, or you can put it, I put it almost in my food all the time. Make sure you put turmeric with pepper. It's shown that you have turmeric and pepper together. It's absorbed better in your body, and it really does help with inflammation. And other things that are awesome for inflammation is garlic, onion, ginger, and beets, and papaya. Believe it or not, papaya is amazing for inflammation. So guys, this is our little talk today about inflammation. Start thinking about what you can do if you have to tweak something in your lifestyle, in how you're eating, to bring down the inflammation in your body. When you bring down inflammation in your body, you also feel that your stomach goes down, that you don't feel so bloated, okay? So I hope this helps, and drinking a lot of water. Have an amazing weekend, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Bye.